Hey YouTube, I just wanted to put together a quick video. I could have named this simply Silver High Premiums, Please Don't Pay Them, but I decided to go with an old sports axiom that I kind of like, which is take what the defense gives you. Before we get started, something kind of cool. I bought a couple of these special BU proof slave queens. The idea behind some of the proofs was I wanted to buy two, and if the price went up, sell one to basically subsidize the cost of the other. And it looks like they used the wrong die, because you can see here it says 9995 CU. They were actually in the process of making copper slave queens, and they left the copper die on, and they ended up stamping out this proof. So it was a mint error, and I actually got two of them. They both have the same issue, which isn't a huge surprise because I got number 601 and 604. Kind of neat. I was actually going to do a video at some point. I've had quite a few requests for people asking me to weigh in on the Chris Dwayne situation, and I'll give you my take, guys. Honestly, I'll put together a video later in the week, but I mean, I don't really have all the facts. I mean, I would just be speculating like anybody else, and that's really not fair. From what I understand, nobody's going to end up losing money out of this. The mint is going to make all of the customers whole. There's a lot of wild accusations going around, and that's just a little bit unfair, I think. But, people, I personally, guys, I don't like to kick somebody when they're down. I really don't. I always try to help people when they're at a low point, and I'm sure that... I'm sure that right now Chris Dwayne is extremely in a pretty tough spot right now. Okay, and I just don't feel like I should be adding to that at all. I've just never been the type of person that wants to add to somebody's misery. I try to do what I can to kind of help in any small way that I can. And that goes for anybody. I mean, anybody watching this, we may have with some guys on here, we may have an adversarial relationship on YouTube, but in all honesty, guys, it's YouTube, and it's just kind of like a fun not time waster, but just a way to kind of pass the time, to try to learn something. And if you guys disagree with me or I disagree with you, I mean, that's perfectly fine and natural, and it's really not personal to me. And I just find the whole situation with Chris Dwayne really unfortunate, because I know that a very short time ago, he had amazingly high hopes for this project, and it's kind of, the relationship with Mint went sour, and it's not good. So anyway, like I said, I may do a video on that. I basically just probably said what I would end up saying anyway, so I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, on to the premiums. I'm a big sports fan, and I'm a huge Dolphins fan. I'm a huge Red Sox fan for football and baseball. And don't ask me which one I like better, because I love both equally, and their seasons only intersect for a short period of time, and so I get almost a full year of both. And one of the things I love about football is the game within a game, the internal chess match. And one of the guys I've always respected tremendously was Bill Belichick, because he always takes what the defense gives him. It's insane. And part of it's having a great quarterback like Tom Brady. But you know what? If you want to play back and play coverage, they'll be very happy to run the ball all day on you. If you want to blitz Tom Brady, they'll shorten their routes up, and they'll throw short passes all day long, and nobody lays a hand on him. And I've always been frustrated by the fact that my teams don't really do that. The Dolphins have never done that. They've always tried to impose their will and do what they do, and usually with very poor results. And I want to kind of draw the analogy between silver right now with the extremely high premiums and taking what the defense gives you, and trying to kind of keep the same game plan, even though it may not work in this situation. If the price of silver drops $10, but an American Eagle only drops $3, if a Canadian Maple Leaf only drops $4, it's not really a drop. If you're trying to buy the dip and you pay this huge premium, are you really buying the dip? I don't think you are. I watched a video this morning by Drutter, and I kind of cringed a little bit. And understand, guys, I have a lot of respect for Drutter. I think he puts out some really good stuff, but he paid $32 an ounce for a tube of maple leafs. That is absurd. Absolutely absurd for maple leafs. I just couldn't believe that he would pay that high of a price when spot was down to 23 and change. You know, when this dip happened, I looked around, and Silver Eagles were absurdly expensive. I think they were like $7 or $8 over spot. Maple Leafs were expensive. The premium silver was ridiculous, guys. I mean, why even go into it? The Lunar Series didn't budge. The Kookaburras didn't budge. The 20 for 20 series didn't budge. Really it was just the generic bullion that went down. So I started looking for a good deal. And Scottsdale Silver had a little bit more of a premium than normal, but it still went way down. Silvertown went way down. Gainesville Coins had sales on the Buffaloes. That went way down. I know Monarch Precious Metals had their Monarch Precious Metals rounds for, I think, $2 over spot or so. So my point is, you're not buying the dip if you're paying a huge premium, so you have to go out and look for this low premium stuff when this happens. You're probably not going to find it with junk silver. The junk silver was kind of the first domino to go, right? We saw that about a month ago. And, the premiums have stayed kind of high on that. Now, is this a case of the bullion dealers pulling their product? I don't know. I don't think so. We've seen record demand. I think what's going to end up happening, and I want to do a video later in the week on the silver shortage right now, and it's probably not going to be what you guys think. I don't think that this is the disconnect from the paper price. I mean, there are high premiums. You're basically, if you play into this and you pay the high premiums that the bullion dealers are asking, all you're doing is helping to expand their margins, and you're kind of playing into their hands, guys. I just don't see the need to kind of play that game right now. I'm going to change my game plan and take what the defense gives me, and I'm going to go after the lowest premium stuff that I like, okay? I know there's a lot of silver out there that really isn't very attractive, and honestly, I don't want to buy something just to buy it. That doesn't leave me with a good feeling. But that's why I'll be buying some Scottsdale bars. I'll be buying some Silvertown bars. And until the bullion dealers, kind of they start getting more stock in and lowering their premiums, this is what I'm going to stick with. I'm going to stick with low premium bars. And I've never bought the Buffaloes before. Maybe I will. I don't know. They've never really appealed to me that much, but they're very cheap here. So, who knows? Maybe I'll go that route. But here's the good thing. Okay, here's where it really starts to matter. You're gonna have to see either the U.S. Mint, the Royal Canadian Mint, perhaps Sunshine Minting. Who makes the blanks? Somebody's gonna have to increase capacity to matter. Because the question you have to really ask here is there a silver shortage, or is it a shortage of coins, rounds, and bars? It's a pretty important distinction, guys, because obviously the Mint only has so much capacity. The U.S. Mint only has so much capacity to make Eagles. Okay, if they're running at full capacity, that doesn't mean that there's a silver shortage. It means that they simply can't produce enough to meet demand, and they're going to have to increase their premiums. Okay, the Royal Canadian Mint can only produce X amount of coins. Okay, and right now, they're probably going to be focusing more on gold, quite honestly. I mean, I don't know if there's a conflict between making gold maples and making silver maples, but I can tell you this. Gold is starting to sell really well as well, and I can tell you that the Canadian Mint would probably favor creating the gold maple leaves ahead of the silver. So that would also increase the premiums on the Canadian maple leaves. So at some point, somebody has to make a decision to increase capacity so that they can produce more and take even more silver off the market. Otherwise, I mean, we're going to be stuck with these high premiums. And me personally, I'll be looking for the lower. I'm going to take what the defense gives me, and I'm going to buy low premium silver here. I'm adapting my game plan. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later. And I'm hoping to do a video tonight on the Sound Money campaign. It depends on what happens in between the time the kids go to bed and Game of Thrones comes on. But I would like to give you my take on that. And that's coming up. The May 1st buy is coming up. So, all right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.